What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another great edition of Renegade Radio right here. Well, tonight we are live from the studios of the best source in Grand Forks here.
Grand Forks best source.
That's
baby.
right. I'll get it right eventually. You know, I've only been here 5 times or 4 times now. Tonight is our 1-year anniversary show, and it's kind of special. You know, it's just what was it? Sunday, August 20th of 2023 last year when Sam and I started this whole thing, and now a year later, look at what we've achieved. You know, so
To me, it seems like about 2 months. I don't know. I mean, but I missed a couple of shows, here and there.
You missed a few, but not all of them. But you missed some good ones.
And it's weird for me to be here, and we got to give a shout out to Paul, the producer, too. By the way, he's been shuffling. He had 2 of his boys in here just a couple of minutes ago, and because they had to go get haircuts. And thank goodness we're in a mall where they have a couple of barber shops, and so he's shuffling kids out. His wife was in and all that, and he's here helping us out. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. But yes, it is the 1-year anniversary show of Renegade Radio, and of course I'm not by myself. I'm never by myself. I'm your host with the most, Frankie Slauson, and tonight we are along with John Roberts here.
Hello.
For the first time in studio, we got Mama T.
Yeah, there we go.
Everybody.
And then who do we have for the Zoom panel here? Because I only see Mad Dog. How many people are in the Zoom panel here? Because I don't know how many. I can't see them all. I don't. Here you got Mad Dog.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Screaming Sam,
Hey.
Screaming Sam, which is only appropriate for him to be here.
He probably can't hear the applause.
Oh,
I don't know if he can. Probably not.
No.
You just had a big time applause there, dude.
I was gonna play a fart sound for you too, but there you go.
Oh, there we got more.
Yeah, we got Mad Dog as well, and my good friend Lance Warlock, a friend to all of us. How's it going there, Lance? Oh, you gotta turn I think you gotta turn your thing on, your headphone. Remember?
Volume. Turn your volume on.
Your volume on.
Oh. I said happy anniversary.
There we go.
That's what we want to see. There you are. Yeah. Well, we appreciate that. I'm glad that you can make it to our anniversary show here. So, yeah. So, what's been going on with everybody here? You know, it's a special time. It's a special day. It's just special. John Roberts, what's been new with you?
Well, my fishing season is pretty much done. We fished our last tournament 2 weekends ago. I still got about a month of racing left to go. We got a lot of things going on.
Okay.
Here tonight, this is pretty cool. I kind of almost forgot about it until no, I mean, it was fun. We sat on my deck for a little while when you guys got to town, and we had a couple of cold ones and BS'd for a while, and it's going to be fun tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I'm excited, just because of the fact that it's nice to be able to kind of see where we came from, where we were a year ago. I wish I guess if I really would have prepared myself, I probably could have done like an archive of the whole first year, but I don't know. Didn't want to bore everybody.
Yeah. No, I mean...
a lot of good moments,
Wow.
though.
Yeah, the people that watch us, they know.
I had a smart ass comment there. You didn't want to bore anybody, and you said the show was going to be really, really special tonight.
Oh, it is.
Well, it's all
It
because
is.
of you, because you're just so special, sweetie.
I've been told that by people before.
Your bus driver and your mom.
mental hospitals and stuff, too. Right? I'm just kidding.
I wish I could see you. I wish I could see you, Frankie.
Oh, you can't see me at all?
No.
Frank, I thought Frankie was still sitting at his house.
You gotta swipe the right or whatever. You gotta.
There we go.
You gotta swipe the right, I think, or whatever.
Can you
or
see
swipe
us now?
left or-
I swiped to the right. We're all swiped. Everybody but you.
Oh, well.
How about... hold on. We got the producer coming here. I might be messed up a little bit.
There we go.
Hey,
You can see me now?
Oh, I had the wrong camera turned on. My bad.
just joking.
Put it back. Put it back.
Put it back. Oh, you sons of bitches.
And that's why behind every great podcast is a great producer, because
Pedal to the left.
You don't just never forget who invited you out here.
Yeah.
Remember? You know,
See,
remember.
I like being in the studio because I got this big mic to cover up my ugly ass face, and then you don't have to see me like
Oh,
when
that's
I'm in
right.
my
Yeah, I
wife's.
gotta look like I'm giving somebody a good job here. or
There you
whatever.
go.
So, yeah. Forgot about that. Yeah, we're in the studio now. Yeah. Be professional.
Yep. There you go.
But yeah, so I'm just happy. You know, I reminisced a little bit with Mama Tia on our way over here today when we drove over here about the long journey to get to this point, and not just the show itself. I mean, there's a huge backstory that I could tell people about, but I'm just gonna I'll shorten it up a little bit just because of time and everything. It just goes back to the days of wanted to be a broadcaster, wanted to be a radio guy. In 2002 when I finally decided I was going to go take up Northland and try the broadcasting department, I didn't know what was going to come from that. I had no clue, if this was going to be the journey I wanted to go on. I doubted myself a lot before I even tried radio because I was just like everybody else, like, oh, I don't know. I don't think I could do it. I'm too embarrassed. And the biggest thing for me is my voice. Because, I was born with cleft palate. And that's a story that most people still don't know, but some people do. And now the whole world knows. But for somebody who was born with a cleft palate, you wouldn't figure they'd want to be a broadcaster, let alone use their voice as much as I have. And back in the day, I felt like my voice was a lot more horrible than it is now. I think I've kind of overdone the kinks anyway as far as the way a person should sound. As far as that goes, well, people, most of you guys say you can understand what I'm saying, so I'm not speaking Chinese or whatever. So when I talk to anybody, so I don't know.
Ling Dao.
Yeah, ching chong,
Hey, I'll take a 69.
I was just gonna
Wow.
say.
Long time.
I was just gonna say, Frankie. You are really doing really good. I mean, you your voice is actually. I've been going through some of the back stuff, and your voice has improved, and you definitely got that face for radio. I mean,
Jeez. You give me a compliment, then you gotta insult me.
It's not an insult.
oh, did I not say that right?
I did 4 decades of that. It's like you got the face for radio, or only a mom could love.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I
I was
didn't say
okay with
that.
that. I was okay with that. I always looked at it as I'm glad I had something to fall back on when
Yeah.
my modeling career ended, right?
Yeah, how many times have we heard that one since you joined the crew? I think that was the first joke you
Were you
sold.
a
when
shoe
might have been.
model?
Yeah.
It might have been.
You were a shoe model, huh?
I thought you were an underwear model or something.
no,
or Fruit of Loom or
no.
something.
When I had hair.
Mad Dog, you sound ugly as hell. I mean, I couldn't even go on radio.
It's bad when you sound ugly.
Imagine if you sound ugly, but you don't look ugly. But then it's like, wow.
You know,
how
that
does
was
work?
What was that? Grown Ups 2, where they're all the ladies are like all on that guy, and he's like all hot and buff and built, and,
Yeah.
and then he goes over there, and they're up top.
Yeah. It's all like Russian or whatever.
It's funny because when I went to school for radio, they taught us if you were a male and you smoked cigarettes, you would sound better because of the resonance
Well, they
in your
lied to
voice.
you.
And so, I mean, I went from a jock to smoking 3 packs of Marbs a day, and just to help. But the thing is the women, and we had some good-looking girls that went to school and were in the business, but the majority of them weren't. And that was the thing about radio. It was like, oh my gosh, you dream, you paint the picture, and then you meet them in real life. And I had people do this to me too. It's like, gosh, I think I know you. And I'm like, yeah, I introduce myself. I'm John. And they go, oh,
Like,
okay,
oh, this is you.
okay. And it's the same way with a lot of, so that was the nice thing about, and now we're on camera. That's why I like these big microphones. So anyway,
That's why I don't.
yeah.
Well, anyway, tonight is also special because we got a couple guests, or I think now we'll have, well, if we have 2 the first hour, half an hour, then 2 the second, so well, 4 guests I guess we're going to have, now that I think about it. Where we'll be joined by Neil Bond at 6:30. He is a Minnesota music historian, and he'll have a surprise guest for us, I guess, which is a friend Bobby, from one Bobby to another, I guess, who also is a Minnesota music historian. And then at 7 o'clock, don't know how long these guys will chat for, but I'm sure they'll have something to say. They're from Roseville, Minnesota. These are these kids that we were talking about last week on the show, or maybe 2 weeks ago, about some kids that wanted to be on the show that came to me and literally asked to be on the show. I didn't come to them. I just proposed it out there, but they wanted to do something with us anyway. So they're the band Forgive the Forsaken, a little metal band out of the Roseville, Minnesota, Wanaska, Minnesota area. And they'll be joining us about 7 o'clock. So
Wanaska?
Yeah, Wanaska.
It's our old stomping grounds back there, huh?
I grew up in Rosso, actually.
Yeah, Rosso.
Rosso.
It's Rosso in world.
God, Dan, you betcha.
Rosso,
Alrighty then.
Wanaska, Pencer.
Pencer.
Oh,
yeah,
Pencer.
we know that area. We
you
up to the Beltrami Forest, about 2-3
You got to
miles.
be pretty old to know to have actually ever heard of the Pencer rodeo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure.
When I-
That's something, yeah. And the thing is, you go up there because you're so close to the big woods, the Beltrami Forest. It's a state forest in Minnesota. It's the biggest forest in Minnesota. People have been lost there from like the 70s that they still haven't found. And I'm not
And
kidding
they're
you. That's
living
what
quite
it is.
well, I'm sure.
But that's what it's like up there. It's just totally crazy. But anybody that's never been to northern Minnesota, that's Forks Paul. I got told a lot that I was really good looking until I talked.
Yeah, we should get that Forks Paul guy on here sometime. I tell you.
I can't understand that Minnesota language.
We can't understand you guys.
We don't even have an accent.
Yeah,
you
well,
people are.
What are you talking about, eh?
The movie Fargo is not accurate at all.
No. I could go all over the world. Where are you from? Minnesota. Oh, Minnesota? No, I'm from Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota. That's not how we talk.
Well, where do you live? Well, I live in Grand Forks. Oh, do you know where Bemidji is? Yeah. Well, do you know so-and-so?
Maybe.
Probably, actually.
Have you ever had their dumplings at all? Their dumplings are great. They add extra butter.
It's Minnesota nice. That's what they call it.
Minnesota nice. They give you the finger anyway.
Well, that's what us being nice.
See, all you Pittsburgh people, you have that toughness in you, that you're supposed to have and everything. So when you talk the way you do, half the time we don't know what you're saying either. So it's like, but we work with it though, It's okay. We have translators here.
As long as you put Yinzar and Jagoff, you'll be okay.
Oh, I heard Jagoff before. That's a funny one.
Yeah.
I've even called somebody a Malacca before. Is that from Pittsburgh at all? Or?
Nah,
No, what's the worst thing we have up here? We don't have too many, I don't know.
we could make
Worst
a list
thing
of
I'm going
swear
to call
words,
you
I
is a
guess.
Larry or a Daryl. Hey, you Daryl.
Oh, wow.
I was going to say, you guys dropped off Zoom.
Oh, we dropped off Zoom?
Oh, okay, there you go. You're on now.
There we go.
Like when you show the full screen, it don't show you guys.
Oh.
I
Oh,
still
no.
can't see Dawn.
Well, you have
That's
to
okay.
You just
Trust
have to,
me,
you
I
have
can.
to deal with it, I guess. It's
I
just
see him now.
our production. I told you
Hey,
when we do
it's
studio
with
stuff
our-
here.
We just got Jagoff putting in a dictionary up here.
Ah, you probably feel. How often do you feel like a jagoff? Do you feel? Is it something you
guys are a
feel, or?
bunch
Is it,
Oh,
That sounds like a drink to me.
Yeah.
Jagoff.
or the Malacca sounds like a salad. or
Jagoff on the
something.
rocks.
Yeah, it's like
you keep
Jägermeister,
skipping,
and
you
it's
can't
got a
hear
little
you.
bit of cream on top.
can't hear me.
Something like that,
That's
yeah.
why everyone talks like you can't hear you.
Okay.
I don't know why that just popped into my head so fast.
Well, and over where Lance is from, everybody would be talking like a surfer and everything. I would say, right? Surf on, dude. Rock on, dude.
Brody.
Yeah, cowabunga and what's chimichanga.
Hey, Pacific Northwest, man. Everybody's laid back. I
Oh.
mean, it's
I was
all good.
I was with a guy yesterday. They stopped by my house, a friend of mine, and his brother happened to be visiting, and he lives in Seattle. And he was talking about, I've only been to Seattle once. I'm going back again in May. I think I've always loved the Pacific Northwest. It's just their politics. And that's the one thing he said too. He loves it out there too, but the politics, it's crappy, but I love the Pacific Northwest. I love up in that area. I love southern Alaska. I think it's really cool up there. I'd love to live up there.
We're in for a new governor, and he's been our governor a really long ass time, and it has been way too long. So let's just hope that it's
Yeah,
gonna be better at some point.
Right.
Luckily, yeah, staying out of that, it's kind of the beauty of it all. And I know you guys obviously can relate.
Yeah, well, our Minnesota people, well, all of us can, yeah, except Paul, the producer here. Well, no, I mean, North Dakota and Minnesota are so different. We were talking about this earlier, the pandemic, when we lost probably 10 to 20% of our businesses in Minnesota forever, wiped off the face of the map because they closed the state down. But where we live, you could try to go to a bar restaurant and it's closed down, but you could literally walk across the bridge over the river, the Red River of the North, and go into North Dakota, and it was business as usual. You could walk into a bar or a restaurant, or there might be a few restrictions with distancing and all that stuff, but that's just one of the things. But here we go. We're just going back to what we did last week. We can't do that anymore.
We can't do a repeat.
I wasn't here though. I wasn't here last week.
No, but
were.
I mean, that's just, but right now, North Dakota on the ballot, they're talking about getting rid of property taxes. It's a state that can even think about doing something like that when we can't think about that in Minnesota. I mean, we don't have enough money. North Dakota does.
Oh, a state can dream, though. A state can dream.
Sometimes that's all you got. You can't take it away from them. Sometimes that's all you have,
Dreams. That's a wonderful thing.
There's my political.
Yeah, we
rant.
don't. I got some feedback on last week's episode. A little bit about the whole rant.
I wondered.
I bet it was good though, wasn't it?
Well, it was from some people, some coworkers there.
Okay. And if they disagreed with me, you don't want to be their friend anyway.
That's right. That's right.
There we go.
Screw them, right?
Well, I didn't say that.
I know,
Everybody's got their opinion. It's just not always right.
Well, opinions are like, buttholes.
Well, he was surprised because I told I keep telling him that our show is variety, which it always will be. I can't make that more clear. But if something's fun to talk about, we'll talk about it. No matter what it's about. So
Right.
And what I want to talk about right now, just to get it out of the way, but to to get some stories about it, because since it is our 1 year anniversary show, I want to tell people that this show is dedicated tonight in the memory of rock and roller, one of my favorite rock and rollers who passed away, Greg Kihn. The Greg Kihn band.
Yeah.
And I know other people have died and everything, and there's so many, but this is who I want to focus on tonight, because that guy was, how I met most of you guys through interviews and whatever. Well, I've had him on my radio show a couple times, plus his son Ryan, plus a few of his band members over the course of time. And I was just a big fan of his music because I compare him to Del Shannon when it comes to the type of career they both had. Because here you got guys who are all known for a couple hits on the radio, stuff that you hear all the time. Del Shannon was Runaway. You got Hats Off to Larry. And then you got Greg Kihn with like the breakup song in Jeopardy, right? Well, there's so much more. If you were to do some discovering and some digging, there's albums upon albums upon albums of stuff that these guys have done. They've never done anything together, but they did it so much, and yet only known for a couple songs on the radio. Isn't that something? That's the legacy of Greg Kihn anyway.
That's better than nothing. I wish people, a lot of people know who I am, but if I had a couple of hits on the radio, more people would know.
But wouldn't you want people to know more about your catalog, like the real fans that really want to know about you?
That's a fine line, because there's people, in my opinion, artists that are so good, I would love to pick their brain, but they just fall off the face of the earth, and that's how they want it. And
I don't think you want it like that.
Well, I know, but there are people like that. There's people that, it's weird because you go your whole life and want to be a big. You want to be noticed. You want everybody to know who you are, and then sometimes it's not a good thing. And then they fall off the face of the earth, and the ones that have figured it out, where it's like, you know what, I'm still going to do, say if you're a musician, I'm still going to do my albums. Okay, I'll do my little tour, but then I'm disappearing for a year or two. There's a big difference in how you draw the line. I mean, if you're worth $1 billion, why do you still want to be touring 200 nights a year when you're in your 70s?
Yeah. On the other hand, though, you you have that whole catalog, right?
Yeah.
You as Frankie Slauson, you have that whole catalog. You've got all of those shows you've ever done, all the shows that John's ever done, everything I've done, everything everybody's done. But do you really want that whole catalog out there for everybody to?
Absolutely.
Because don't you have those shows where you're like, man, I was so messed up. I don't
It
want
doesn't
anybody to see
matter.
that.
I want people to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. I don't care.
It's funny
don't care.
because back when I was doing a lot of sports and radio, I remember calling a high school hockey game in Minnesota. It was a state championship game. And that was when it was one class. And we were talking about this earlier, back when the little towns like Roseau, Minnesota would play the Edinas and the Minnetonkas.
Wipe
And
their
I
leg.
remember it was overtime. The shots were dead even. And the guy took a slap shot from just outside the blue line and scored. And it was the overtime goal to win. And he went on to play for the Minnesota Gophers and in the NHL and all this stuff. But I happened to have the replay of when they were and it was almost like the 1980 gold medal hockey game. Do you believe it, Bear? When he shot and scored that goal, I went ballistic. I mean, I just went. But those are the things, and I've done so much over 40 years that you forget. People will remind you. Remember when this happened? And it's
That's why you want you to put all your stuff out there, because if you forget, then it's like, oh,
me
okay.
too. Yeah, because I don't listen to it. I don't ever listen to my replays. I won't watch this show.
do.
I mean, I don't. I don't. I've been
Old
doing
shows,
it for too long.
Old shows that we've done, even in the beginning or in the middle or whatever. I want people to see our good stuff. I want to see our horrible stuff.
I just don't
whatever,
need to see it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like
need to
me
watch
when
my show.
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
I finally won my belt, and my brother turned against me, and all the young kids were yelling, "Mad Dog, Mad Dog!" My brother hits me with a chair, and the guy hits me and takes my belt off me, and I only had it for 13 seconds. Never forget that day.
Didn't
that's
even
why
give
he's
you your 24 hours.
That's why he's been
Not
so
even
bitter ever
15
since.
What a
minutes.
dick.
There's 15 seconds. You only got 15 seconds. Not even a whole 15 minutes.
I didn't even get to hold it up. And he's all the way home, his son saying, "Oh, my dad, that's not my father."
Well, I mean, that's the thing about it, and that's what I mean. Like even like the Screaming Sam show, like we just got the packages that John sent us here in the mail, and it's like you want to be proud of the things that you put out there, or why would you put it out there, And don't you want people to see like everything the good episodes, the bad episodes, the confusing episodes, I mean. It's all your work. It's all stuff you should be proud of. And I know you, Sam. I know you're a perfectionist, but you are proud of the things that you've done, no matter how it turned out.
Did you watch it? Is it like professionally edited and everything? And
Yeah, I
it was
think
edited
so.
pretty good.
I believe so. So yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, for
Did you
anything
see
that
the
you've
Titty
done.
Hunter?
Well, I didn't watch your DVD yet. I don't know if I
Okay, well,
will,
I
because that's kind of you sent me. You damn near sent me a porno, is what you sent me.
Yeah, that's what it was. If you want to see a guy hanging there with weights
I'm
hanging
talking
off
the
his
stuff
head,
that's
what?
yes, but I'm talking about the stuff that he's put online, not the stuff that he's sent us or whatever. But
Right.
the whole archive, we'll say,
Right.
the shows that are family friendly, if there are any.
There's a
Oh,
lot.
are we supposed to be being friendly? Friendly?
Well, I'm saying for his Screaming Sam show from back in the day, because the stuff that he sent us was almost like watching a porno. You know what
That's
I mean?
just a little. That's not even a freaking. A little dip of what I have. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? If
well.
you've seen some of the stuff I have.
I'm gonna duck
Yeah,
out for a
it's
quick
not family
smoke break
friendly,
before the
let's
real
put it that way.
fun starts.
Well, anyway, but I mean, the point I'm trying to get is that Sam is appreciative of the things that he's done,
Right,
even with
right.
that. So he wants people to see, it's not just about, the views or whatever. That's why he was like, here, I asked Paul and stuff about views or whatever, but it's not what our show's about. I mean, we want people to watch, obviously.
Well, sure we do.
But we want people to see any side of us that we can, because we want to be different than, if we can offer that as a difference to other podcasts where they just want to be
And
perfect all the
the
time.
creative side too,
Yes, exactly.
When we were,
exactly.
we got a couple of texts in when we were talking earlier about knowing people and people know you. What's sad is there are hundreds of thousands of people, and they say do you know so-and-so? And you respond, yeah, that's my cousin. How many times does that happen? As Forks Paul. Jeremy asked, I never watch my own stuff. I only rewatch obsessively the things I've edited. We don't edit, well, except maybe, well, we don't.
I don't edit this show at all. I mean,
we don't edit any of our stuff on Grand Forks Best Source. We have, I got fantastic producers between Paul and Dale, who just make it look good. I mean, look up behind me now. That's badass.
That is.
And that's not even green screen. That's new stuff there. But yeah, it's anyway.
It illuminates a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
That looks nice.
I almost want to keep it on there just to see it, but then you got to keep looking at me.
And people get confused. They probably think that John's the host. He's the co-host when we do the studio stuff.
Eric saying, "Here I come. Get ready." Because here I come. We're so fantastic. We don't know how to edit stuff. Well, that's we are. We got to pat our own backs here once in a while
I think
too.
Eric will be. I don't know. Is there something on top that says he's coming in or whatever? I can barely see it.
You're asking the wrong guy, dude.
Everything's Chinese up here.
Oh, that light! See, that light shines right in my face.
Yeah.
I can't see those guys.
He's not there.
Okay.
He's not there.
Not yet anyway. Okay.
And see, I don't see what these guys are seeing. I don't know if they can see both of us at the same time.
I think
I have no idea.
whatever the switcher shows, I'm sure is whatever you.
Okay, here's what I see. I see both of you guys on one section.
Okay.
Me, I see Tony, and I see oh my God,
Tanya.
I don't see
Lance.
But when I'm watching the phone, like I got on the chat,
Yeah.
I don't see the group of you. I only see when you talk.
Okay, when I switch cameras.
When you switch cameras, I
Okay.
can see that, but I can't. There's only 3 of us on the thing right now.
Yeah. On the Zoom right now, there's only 3 of you. Yeah.
When
That's
I'm on my phone, I don't see nothing but the table.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm in here switching cameras, and we're doing all kinds of stuff. Eric Adams, you guys are so high tech.
Well, we try to be. I mean,
I'm so low tech. It's
Now
crazy.
when I go back, it's just me and you. I see you 2 guys. I don't see Johnny and.
oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's probably just a different way of doing it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably different phones and
But
stuff.
you know,
I'll put my iPad on.
it's all good though. I mean, we're live anyway, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
But no, I you know, and going back to what I was talking about you know, just the love of doing broadcasting. You know, I also have a background in television too. A lot of people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I worked at Black Hills Fox for 3 years, and I was the master controller over there, and that was a fun time.
Oh, that's crazy.
It went by pretty quick, but it was fun because I got to be in charge of everything that was on TV. You always wonder, like, who, if something screws up, is there anybody behind the scenes or whatever that can fix it? Well, most of the time there is. Depends on what channel you're watching. And our channel was it was a Fox affiliate, but we were up on Skyline Drive, which I believe they still are to this day. And used to be a little studio. Used to be, but then when they expanded and had a Coda territory come with them, then they got bigger. But I'll never forget the days of just being in a studio almost similar to this, a little bit smaller, doing the master control work on myself. Doing the daily logs, doing commercials.
Paul, the producer's older brother, he's got 2 other brothers.
Yeah.
He's been a producer in television for years.
Okay.
Years.
Okay.
And he's down in the cities. He was in Denver. He was in Salt Lake City for quite a while. Is he at Care 11?
I have no idea.
Yeah, he's pretty much everything you see on the channel. That's what.
So he does
runs it all.
He does the Chiron and all that too.
I
and
guess.
everything?
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Someday you're going to see me in front of your door there. I'm going to sneak down there and I'm going to be in my G-string dancing while the studio's on. Right in front of your door behind Sean.
Do you
Sees the door.
do you drink?
Yeah, I drink.
Okay, I double dog dare you, buddy, because as soon as I see it, we're going across the hall to Rumors. We got a sports bar and casino right across the hall.
I'm telling you, if I ever get some extra money, me and my brother coming down. I'm promising you that.
And they'll be dancing with wearing G-strings. I
I'd
don't know.
love to hang out with
How do you get by
look
security?
like a guy I would hang out
We'll make it worth your while, man.
If you got in here wearing a G-string and you're dancing, how the hell do you get past security?
I'll make a few calls.
I'll wear my overcoat. coat.
You'd be a regular mall walker.
Jesus
I wanted
Christ.
to be. Oh, is that in the mall? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, we're
Yeah,
right in the
yeah.
middle of a mall.
Oh, I want to wait till it's like 40 below zero too, man. I want to slow that coat off, and I'll be out there. Yeah.
Yeah, but then if you come up here, then there's nothing to do but sit inside and drink. You got to wait till it's warmer out. Then we can go out and do stuff. Yeah.
I think that's what he just wants to do anyway. I don't think he cares.
Oh, there's Mama T. She looking
Oh, she's
good, baby.
Well, there's a couple of our good fans that would have been really disappointed if Mama T didn't get her cigarette break.
Which fans were those? Is there one that you just...
Dan O'Keefe is one of them.
Why-
I think.
Oh.
There's a couple guys.
Dan's a big
They're always
fan.
like,
My boy Dan's a big fan.
hey, Mama T, she's always got to have her cigarettes in her drink.
I worked with Dan for about 15, 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, Dan was in the cemetery business with me.
Okay, because there's O'Keefe is a big name in Grand Forks. McDonald's franchises were O'Keefe's,
Okay.
and the first
I don't know what Dan is tonight.
medical
Dan
marijuana
ain't on tonight. I
store
don't know.
is owned by an O'Keefe
Oh, yeah.
in Grand Forks. Yeah.
Well, there was another guy on there, and probably the Lenhart guy. He
Or
was
no,
a good
not
fan.
medical.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
John.
Well, I
John
know
Wayne?
they're John Lenhart. Yeah. I think they're doing a benefit.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
How's everybody?
Hey,
there he
we
is.
got more guys.
Man,
Eric,
How's that
Antique
next
Man,
boy doing?
welcome.
Doing good.
Yeah, welcome to the 1 year anniversary show.
Yeah, woo, thank you.
It's a little different atmosphere because we're live here in the Best Source Studios tonight.
Well, that's a fancy office.
Are you here live? Are you actually here? Is this your office?
I just took my shower. I'll smell
Oh.
good.
Well, that's good.
How come you didn't show it on
He's got a
camera?
good smell
you
for,
should
he's
do
got
like
a good smell for radio.
Next time. Next time.
Oh, Sean.
Hey, ratings. Come on, we need ratings.
Don't encourage
Yeah, that's
me.
the only reason I'm on this show, huh?
That's right. That's right.
Trying to boost the ratings.
Try to do what? Oh,
Boost
the
some-
ratings.
Yeah,
ratings,
yeah.
All you need to do now is be eating a corn
It's
dog
like-
here.
Oh, geez.
There we go.
Or a
Oh,
banana, whatever.
What, you don't like the corn dog humor? If all
I'd watch it.
Yeah, this is what it should be. We all should be laughing, having a good time.
yeah.
Heck yeah.
You know what's funny? Like I see your studio. I don't, you never see the background, but like when I had the Screaming Sam show, we actually did our radio show in my office, which was like 10 by 12 maybe. But if you look at this show, like if we filmed it, you'd be like, man, that's a nice studio because of the green screens or whatever, or signs. And then the TV show, everything was shot in a 40-foot trailer.
Oh yeah. Yep.
A module home.
Yep.
A
Yep.
module
Yeah.
place. And like our background was nice on the show, and we had cameras, and you have this, and we have a nice hardwood floors. But you walk off the set, you walk into a trailer. It was a trailer where U-Haul stopped and
Yeah.
Wow.
Where the porn videos are shot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and see, our studio, when you walk in, we Paul and I knew nothing about it, so we knew sound. I mean, from being in radio and music and bands and stuff, and so we made our own soundboards up here and put them all over the place. But if you were to hear the one side, and I don't know if I can. Well, you can't see the background there, but the one side, all back there is all racing because we have a pretty big racing show. And then we have all our collections of stuff around. But yeah, it's a nice little studio. We have 3 beer fridges, little
speaking
trinkets.
of which.
We were actually
Beer.
given the very first key to the city of Grand Forks by the mayor of Grand Forks, which is pretty cool, we think.
Oh yeah, that is cool.
And
Sorry.
it says they will let you know I'm here, waiting for you to
Oh, yeah,
push
that's-
the come on in
That's
button.
Antique Man.
Oh,
yeah,
antique.
okay. He's
Okay.
already in here already.
And we were talking about Forks Paul earlier, and he says he pushes buttons. The most difficult part is the maze of cables hooking everything up. If you came in here, you should have seen when we first opened up this place. And we were first going. We had power strips plugged into power strips, plugged into power strips. We had an electrician come in here and put in 36 new outlets.
Jeez.
36 right off the bat. Then the fire department came and inspected
Oh,
us.
jeez.
Like it was like an omen. But yeah, so we run. When you walk in here, I walked in here this morning with nothing on. It was probably 78 degrees in here. In the winter, we've never ran the heat in here, as far as I know, in 4.5 years. But we even run AC in the winter because of the small confined area and the heat and the lights and the monitors.
Yeah.
And we got 5-6 monitors here. So, but yeah, it was fun.
Can I throw out a plug to my show real quick, just because?
Yeah. We should talk about your show.
Well, I branched out and I decided I was gonna spread my wings, and I'm doing this podcast called The Buzz with Mama T, and it goes live every Sunday at 5 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch and wherever else. Then it gets uploaded to all the podcasts. So it's like my clean show. It's my good girl show where I don't swear and I don't drink and I don't. Oh well, this past Sunday I did.
You gotta send love to Jeremy though, because he's the reason why.
That's what I'm doing. That's why I'm doing that, because I'm looking at our message board over there and I see my producer's name over there. I never watch my own stuff. I only rewatch obsessively the things I've edited. And not only is he's the producer of my podcast for the same reason. I was on why I'm on this show, because I met you guys both through Bobby, and Jeremy is the one that has produced Little Bobby's music videos this whole time. I think there's only like 1 or 2 that he never produced, but you guys got to go check this stuff out. These kids are still keeping the legacy alive. They still got the bar going.
Yep.
They're doing such an amazing job. I'm still doing the podcast, still doing the newsletter, and Jeremy's got our butts.
I was corrected. We have 11 monitors in here. I forgot there's a few behind where he's at. There's another one on this side of the curtain, and 11.
No, but we I tell you what, the show it's good that you're back doing your show, because I know last night you actually asked me to come on when I was at work. I was just like, well, I suppose I could make it work.
I knew you were going to understand about, sometimes at the last minute you get a guest that
I want to give you a great interview regardless.
Well, and then I thought, I told at first, just because my podcast, I like the whole one-on-one thing. I like the structured format. I've got a half-hour interview, another half-hour interview, and then we're done,
Sure.
And it's all music related. I'm trying to push these musicians. I'm trying to get these musicians out there and interview them and get their names out there and get people to know them. And I want to continue Little Bobby's legacy by getting these young people involved in the music as well, because that's how you're going to pass this along. This is how you keep the live music alive. That's how you keep the blues alive, passing it to the next generation. So that's why my Sunday shows are so clean, so they can be clean rated, so the kids can watch them.
That's right.
But
that is what your goal was, even before Bobby passed away.
Yep.
The whole goal is because you talk about how much he wanted to keep his music alive, but he wanted to teach the kids about music too, and I think that's great, because I always thought Bob could have made a good music teacher. I don't know why he never thought about that,
Because he cusses too much for little kids. But he loved the little kids. He did.
Okay.
No, he loves the kids. He loves the kids,
Come here,
man.
you little fuckers.
Let's get over here,
But he would say it with a grin on his face.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I know he was the same way, because I knew his dad and his grandpa. He was brought up the same way. If you were to say, "Come here, you little fucker," it didn't mean anything. It meant, "Come here, dude. Let's do it." And I can see that being a music teacher.
Over good school.
You would have been at the principal's office.
But the thing is, in our days, now back when I was in high school, I had a biology teacher in high school. He actually hung a kid out the window of the 3rd floor by his ankles.
That wasn't Michael Jackson?
No. It was Mr. Vollen, Bill Vollen. But he caught me cheating in a test, and he punched me in the chest so hard, it knocked me over. Flipped. That was the one seat, the one-piece bench and chair. You had your desk and chair, and it was all one piece. Flipped me over. I deserved it. And he was still one of the teachers I probably respected more than anybody.
Jeez.
But now I know high school hockey coaches, state championship winning, voted coach of the year for the state, that got fired because during the period break in the locker room, he said, "You guys are playing like a bunch of pussies." He lost his job for that.
Wait a minute. When was that? I actually might know.
Not that long ago. And because I cover, high school hockey here on the radio.
Well, Antique Man, you're a teacher, ain't you?
Monday through Thursdays, I sub special ed. And I made a meme the other day, put it on Facebook on a on a power board. I wrote on there, "Hi, good morning. I'm Mr. Adams. Sit down and shut the fuck up." They didn't fire me yet.
Lance, maybe you could have been a music teacher. I mean, with all your music experience, how come you didn't go the educational realm? Yeah.
No, I was more like able to teach sex ed.
Oh. No, I'm
That's
talking,
not what she said.
I'm talking about Lance, though. You know,
Okay.
he has all our. He has the music experience. He's a music. You know, he does music for a living. How come you didn't become a music teacher?
You know what I did do for just under 20 years was I taught privately. I taught drums and percussion. And then what I used to do is volunteer at the middle schools and the high schools and work with their drum lines.
Okay.
So I used to focus on that. And once that all shifted, I did choose to leave it, but I actually did that for literally just shy of 20 years.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So you were like a teacher,
Yeah.
then, pretty much. Okay, in a way, you know, just teaching everybody how to
Yeah.
play instruments. Okay, well, that's
I was
cool.
a teacher too, so you know.
Yeah, imagine
Yeah.
Sam as his teacher. Oh my God.
Masturbation.
Yeah.
Sex ed.
I used to lecture. I lectured at the ABTI for a few years, radio and television school.
Uh-huh.
But that was about it for me.
Was that when Don Jorster was still in charge, or was
no, Howard Rocky.
Howard Rocky, yes,
Yeah.
yes, and I
Yeah.
love Howard Rocky. See,
I have more respect for that dude than just about anybody on the planet.
if you want to know some of the people that inspired, well, this whole idea of the journey of what I took, you know, to do all this stuff or whatever, there were only a few teachers who I can tell you that I looked up to, who were all inspiring, and that was Jeannie Novacek, Dylan Elseth, both music teachers. Debbie Outney, who was art teacher, everybody knows, around northern Minnesota. K-Dale Super, you know, was definitely one of them because she was like my journalism teacher, you know. So because I also have a little background in journalism too, a little bit. And then for college, between Don Howe and Howard Rocky, and Howard Rocky was never my instructor. He retired like a year or two before I came.
See, now Howard Rocky was my instructor, but Don Jorsted did the summer 3 months.
Okay.
So I had both of them, but I got to work with them afterwards because I went to work at the one radio station where Don Jorsted was a salesman.
Yep.
And I also worked a couple of different times for the station where Don Howe was a salesman. And
And where was that at?
Well, I guess they both would have been.
Was that he worked?
They were
with
both at
KTRF too?
KTRF.
Yeah.
Yep. But I worked for the KKQ, the other
But Don
guys
Howe
too.
was the station manager at the time when I was.
Well, I see, but it wasn't when I was. I
Yeah.
worked with those guys personally. Don Howe, I had a lot of respect for Don. He just had a birthday the other day, by the way.
Yeah.
And Don Jorsted was the guy I first went on the road with to do sports. He kind of got me, and racing. I went and did some dirt track stuff with him and some snowmobile stuff, and it got me really going into the dirt track racing career that I have now. But I found out where every American Legion in northwestern Minnesota was working with Don Howe because he knew where they all were. We'd go call a football game on a Friday night, and we'd hit the Legion before we'd drive back to TR.
Wow.
But yeah, those guys. And then I went to school with all his boys too. He had a crap load of boys, like a whole team. And so yeah, I got to know all these guys real well.
But isn't it kind of cool to realize how inspirational these guys were? You know, as far
50
as
years later.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I say that about Howard Rocky, even though he was never my instructor. The only reason why I have so much respect for him is not just because of the legacy that he created for himself, but the fact that every time he would hear me on the radio, or he would let me know about it, you know, that he was listening, and he, you know, just always loved everything I ever did. You know, and maybe that was what he was supposed to say to every person, but it's
Howard told it like it was.
Yeah.
We back then in college, we were broke. The drinking age was 19, and so we would have these 2 fingers tequila parties. 2 fingers tequila because it was the cheapest tequila you could buy. And yeah, we'd be in lecture the next morning, and he'd be, my God, he goes, "You smell like cheap tequila." And then he'd say, And not to mention, you're wearing the same clothes you wore yesterday.
Yeah, I bet you
And all you can do is go.
over commode.
Why is the walk of shame for dudes so much more respectable than the walk of shame for girls?
Well, I don't know. Tell us.
Because we
about
do
it.
less respectable things, more respectable things.
Usually because we break a heel on our way home.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Well, if I ever did have a party, if I was ever like a partier, I'd want the Oingo Boingo party from Back to School. You know.
There you go.
I'd
That
be
little Danny Elfman.
I'd be Rodney Dangerfield's character. You know?
Yeah. Dead man's party.
Yeah, that sounds right. No respect.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
But he was in a jacuzzi with some chicks or whatever, so that'd be me right
Yeah, what's the party without
Yeah, they filmed it at the casino.
there. Yeah, at Seven Clams. Or no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, keep dreaming, Frankie.
I'm still eating corn dogs, so I tell you.
Better you than me on camera. Well, maybe not for
Wow.
ratings, but
party
you know.
without bubbles?
Anyway.
Bubbles.
So anyway, so we are about half an hour away from our first two guests anyway, of Neil Bond and Bobby Drangler. What's cool about these guys is when it comes to Minnesota music history, do you realize how many bands are from Minnesota?
Oh, a lot.
Oh.
I mean,
my God.
there are hundreds upon thousands of musicians, and it's not just Bob Dylan and Prince or whatever. There's a lot of people. You know?
Andrew's sister, Andrew's sisters, some Modest Mouse from Minnesota too.
Brenda Lee,
Yeah,
Little
yeah,
Bobby.
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
we
that's
can
a
go
given.
on
Like-
and
Well,
on.
and Crow. I mean, you guys love
Yeah,
Crow.
yeah.
I mean, I'm friends
Oh
with
my God.
almost all the band
And
members.
see, Neil and Bobby both are musicians as well.
Yeah.
They've both been on the Buzz.
Well, these guys or Neil, you know, he took his inspiration and turned it into a page on Facebook, and it's all about Minnesota musicians and people who came from Minnesota and jammed out and stuff. And I'm sure he's done stuff with Lil Bobby because wasn't he on your show?
I'm thinking
Too?
it's like I can't
Neil
remember
Bond?
the name of it. It's like something about heroes, icons, ghosts, and legends, or
Something like that. Yeah.
It's those are the four words.
Or
that I didn't
Ghostbusters or
say them-
something or whatever. Yeah.
I didn't say them in order, but no, he features on
correct
his
us.
show every day. He
Modest
features
Mouse.
a different-
Yeah, there you go. Really?
Wait, what?
Guys
Oh,
in
is
back
it?
need to turn up the mic. Okay. That's those guys.
What the hell? Anyway, but
turn
no,
this
I
up.
mean it's
There we
just
go.
amazing. So I've had Neil on my radio show a long time ago, but it was a long time ago, and that's why it was nice that he'd be honored to come back for today's show. And so the whole thing with Bobby is he just told me about an hour ago. So it's like, okay, well we'll get him on too, I guess. So because I guess this guy was trying to do an interview with Bob before he passed. There, Mama T.
I'm sorry. I was reading
She
that.
was looking at the monitor.
Oh,
Guys,
okay.
somebody just called my name. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's like,
Hi, Nicole. How you doing? Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm finally in the studio. What was your question? I'm sorry.
This Bobby Drangler person was
Yes.
supposed to interview Bob before he passed away, or was going
they
to?
were
or-
going to have him on the heroes, icons, legends, and ghosts.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I said it in. I think I said it in the right order that time.
You didn't say Ghostbusters, though.
No, you said Ghostbusters.
That's right. That's what I keep
But
saying.
no, we're still going to work on that. We're still going to get him on part of that, and we're still going to try to get him a posthumously inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's
For sure.
where he
For
should
sure.
belong. Absolutely, and
Yep.
that should be a big deal too.
Yep.
You should
yep.
make as big a deal about that as you can.
And I'm going to plaster the name. It's so they don't have. So they've got a Facebook page and a website and everything where you can go and you can do this and you can do that, but they only have those awards once a year,
Uh-huh.
and you got to wait for them to open to nominate people.
Oh, so you still have to nominate, even though the
So,
people.
yep,
Oh,
yep.
okay.
So they're like, it's one of those awards that is awarded to you because this many people voted for you. They just nominated you and just kept on. There's all
So
kinds
do
of
you
people.
think it's going to be an easy task, or do you think it's going to be a little bit of a journey to get him in there?
It would be quite a journey for anybody.
No, I mean
else,
especially
but-
for him,
But for me, I think I can get this out.
Yeah.
I was his
I think he'll
publicist.
get in.
I was
Yep.
his fit.
I don't think it'll take long.
I think well, this is going to help. The more we spread his name out there and spread his music out there.
Because can't his
that-
grandfather help with
Yep,
that too?
his
a little bit?
grandfather was Rockabilly Hall of Fame, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a third
Yeah,
generation.
yeah, I saw him play.
musician. Yep. Yeah. So
Yeah.
no, we're gonna. You guys, there's a link on my page, a link on my page. where yeah, it's my kid again. My kid actually came to the studio today. Come here. Say hi, Margaret.
Hi, Margaret. Just said hi to herself, everybody.
Anyway, there's a no, go that way.
Yeah, we're still live for another hour and a half
So-
at least.
There's a place you can go, and I'm going to put it on my page. I think I just commented what the link was in somebody else's question, but it's the Minnesota Blues Hall of Fame or Blues Society. You can go to the Blues Society anywhere, and you can call them. You can write them a letter. Once nominations open up, you can just fill out a form and nominate him. I
Go
mean,
from there.
and as soon as we're done doing this, I'll start getting that information out.
Oh, that's good.
You can go to the Buzz page or to my page or.
Because we were talking a little bit on off camera. I don't mean to bring up all the stuff that we talk about it, share with everybody, but I think it's interesting because with little Bobby, his music, goes back a long time. And I've heard stuff that he never put, like before Spotify and all that stuff that's not on Spotify. Going back to the song that I was trying to tell you about, called Mechanical Moon. Yep. It's a different side of Bob. It's not blues. It's not, it's more like alternative rock, but more like even like a little synthetic kind of like even though he's not using synthesizer or whatever. But
I think that's when he was back learning how to use all of this stuff, like the Pro Tools and all that
it worked
stuff.
for me. I'd say, how
figured it
come
all
this
out.
is not on the freaking radio? I mean,
Yep.
all these songs are just simple songs, but they're just like, I don't know. If I heard them right now, I'd probably cry.
Well, we went into Rumor Sports Bar and Casino and grabbed the bite to eat you guys did before we were in there
Yeah.
and before the show. And I ran into an old drummer friend of mine, drummed in a lot of bands around here. And he jammed with Bobby back in the day. He jammed with guys that from my hometown, where Bobby was from. It was like, wow, it's pretty cool when you hear about that. And it's like, I told him, I said, that's Bobby's, and I called her widow. I mean, because I didn't know what to say, but he's like, "Oh God, I know who that is. I know." And he was almost like, "I don't want to go talk to her," But yeah, it's amazing how many people that I know of all the musicians around here in 25 different towns that have jammed with him over the years.
And that was funny too, because you come sit down at the table and you're telling me like, "Oh yeah, those people know Bobby and they know who you are," and I'm like, "They know me?"
Well, that's what Bobby used to say. More people knew you than him.
Oh yeah, like he said, yeah, that was one of the things he said at my 50th birthday party. He said, she's taken to this like a duck to water, being a musician's girlfriend, and all these famous people I know. They don't even want to talk to me anymore. They just want to talk to her. And I don't blame them because she's a lot better looking than my ugly ass, he'd say.
He never quite saw it. You really are ugly, Bobby. Yeah, I know.
He could see. He could get close enough to the mirror to see.
Anyway, so anyway, well, like what was I going to say now? With the guys on the panel, now that we're at our 1 year anniversary, I have this question that I want to ask everybody, because even though maybe I've asked this before, but I want to get everybody's insight, because I want to know, and you can say whatever you want. You're not gonna hurt my feelings if you're saying this for other reasons or whatever. Just say how you feel. And I want to start with John Roberts here, and we'll just kind of go around. Just kind of keep it. This is our segment for today. I want to know why you agreed to be a part of the team. Why you agreed to be part. What about the show drew you interest to being a part of this show, and why did you want to be a part of the show? So, John Roberts, I'm going to ask you first. Oh, come on now. Come on, this is special. This is 1 year anniversary. Come on now, we're making history here.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, show some inspiration there.
It's funny. I knew who you were, it just because of this kind of stuff, and I follow local people and what they do, and you're local as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I'd known Mama T, because of Bobby and stuff, and I thought, yeah, what the hell. I'm to the age now though where I want to do less, and so I don't know why I did it, but I'm having fun doing it. It's one of those things. It's like, and I hate to use this as a but going to church. I used to dread getting up and cleaning up and having to go to church. And then when you got done, you went, I'm so glad I did that, you know, kind of thing. And then it's the same thing. I keep saying I'm going to do less and less, but I end up still doing things. And I'm having fun doing it. And getting to meet these guys that I'm seeing on the monitor up here and hearing them say, man, I'd love to come up there and party because I would love for these guys to come up here. I think we would have one hell of a time.
Oh, absolutely.
I got plenty of room for you boys. Come on up for the whole freaking week and do it in the summer, and we'll go out and we'll have a good time. We'll hit some good blues bars or go to some blues fests, go some racing, do some fishing.
How many blues bars are there? Come on now.
Well, we'll find them. Yeah.
There's one.
But so there's my answer.
Okay.
I'm having fun doing it.
Mama
you
T?
know.
You're up next. sir. She's drinking a beer. Why do you
What
say
was the
yes?
question?
Why do you say yes when it was brought up to you to be part of the show?
Oh.
Like what about the show interests you? Because you didn't know me at all.
Yeah, I know. And this could be a really long answer, or I could
whatever.
try
It's our
to
segment
shorten it.
for this week. So.
But so all I knew for 20 years was being a mom, a wife, and a factory worker, and just busting my ass, physical labor all the time, right? I went from that to being a musician's girlfriend. What a change! So back, you know, when I was in grade school and middle school, I used to sing solos. I used to sing, the music teacher, Mrs. Moline, she would give me a solo, a spring program, Christmas program, fall program, well, obviously not in that order. But I turned 21 and I tried to do karaoke and I bombed so hard I decided I was never going to sing in front of people again. And so Bobby and I started dating, and not long after my mom passed away. And I just remember being so mad because he was there for that phone call, and he's like, "You grieve however you need to grieve. You need to drink. You need to sleep. You need to."
That's the picture right now. Anyway,
That's awesome.
Okay.
Anyway,
Sorry about that, folks. If you saw that, or whatever.
they're all tucked in, right?
Anyway.
I missed it. What did I miss?
I don't know.
Anyway.
So he got okay. I'm trying to make it's too late for that. I was going to make a long story short, but it's way too late for that. No, I was mad that my mom had passed away because I had been practicing for like 2-3 years to sing her favorite song for her birthday. And I would sit at my kitchen table with a box of wine, with headphones on, and I would sing this song over and over and over until I got it perfect because I knew it was her favorite song. And 2-3 years in a row, I kept missing her birthday because of family reasons, we'll call it. And after this happened, I remember being so mad, and Bobby's like, "Well, sing it." I'm like, "I can't sing in front of anybody." This guy puts me in the studio, puts a bottle of alcohol in front of me, and he's like, "Here's the buttons. This is how you do it. Don't come out until you're done." And he put it on a CD. Okay, what my point was, he got my confidence up. I never thought I could sing. I never thought I could be confidently in front of a camera. I didn't say successfully. Now you see, I didn't say successfully. I didn't think I could do it, and when Bobby gave me that confidence to be on the stage in front of people and sing in front of people again, and then when he called you after that interview he had, and he told you, you know, have Tanya co-host. She's really good with the pop culture and stuff. And I'm like, oh, and I didn't know anything about it. I get this random message on my phone like, "Babe, who's this weird looking dude that is like wants me to be on his show? What's going on here?" Yeah, sorry.
And Pee Wee Herman was really drunk, I guess, right? Sorry.
But he had the confidence in me that I would be successful at it, that I could at least try it, give it a shot.
And you have been.
And you know what? I love you guys. I absolutely love you guys. Oh, you got Ian Thorpe, we got John Wayne Lanhart, we got Nicole, we got Paul Tessa, we've got what's the guy I said earlier? We got all these great
Forks
fans
Paul.
that are always
Ian O'Keefe.
Dan O'Keefe.
and Dan O'Keefe. And we've got this great panel of guys, and I've never felt so comfortable in my life being on a show, and like I did it originally because he told me to.
Okay.
And then I kept on doing it because you guys just make me so comfortable. You
Kind of become a routine now, huh?
it's my
Mama
family.
T, we love you, Mama T.
All right.
Hey, Mama
Ian,
T.
Ian wants you to sing, by the way. Tanya, will you sing for us sometime? No pressure.
I could do that.
So we go from our live crew to our panel crew
yes,
here.
yes.
So
give it
let's,
to them for a little bit
Let's
here.
hear from Mad Dog. Let's put him under the spotlight.
You mad dog.
My brother called me and told me about this, and I always wanted to do things with my brother, and we never ever did anything together. So I said I'd love to. But Sean, I'm impressed on not only the guests that you've gotten over the year, and I'm really impressed on your wrestling knowledge. Like, I don't even know half the crap, and I'm kind of embarrassed. But when I got out of wrestling, I shut the TV off on.
Yeah.
I didn't want to watch the WWF. I didn't want to watch ECW. I would watch these little guys, and I'd go to a lot of local shows to keep up with it. But I was pretty interested on your knowledge of it. And the guests you were getting, I was in awe. Like I was just shocked on the guests you got. And I'm really impressed, and I'm really proud to say that I'm part of the show. I mean, I don't come up with a lot of intelligent stuff anymore, but I'm not really into the blues and the music scene like you guys are. But I'm just happy to be a part of it, like meet Mama T and Antique Man John Roberts. It's been a pleasure. I'm proud to say I'm part
Yes,
of this.
it has.
And
This,
hey, I mean,
this podcast.
we're still getting started, so to speak. I always like to use that term, we love having you on too, Mad Dog. You're definitely. I tell you what, my thoughts on you have definitely changed from the beginning because I've seen a lot of growth come out of you. You probably have done more as far as just being not even the side character. I'd say you're more or less like the guy who will tell us some funny jokes here once in a while and fill us full of knowledge about things. And,
You trying to say I'm the goofball of the crowd?
I mean, I'm the comic relief.
I'm gonna tell you this right now.
I'm just kidding.
If it was just us three locals on here, I probably wouldn't be doing this. These guys, I love that these guys are here because we're all three from within an hour of each other,
Sure.
up in this the god awful tundra of the United States, and these guys are from all over, and I love that.
Oh yeah,
I love that we get to talk to people from other parts of this country.
All right, let's move to Antique Man. I want to hear from Antique Man. Why did you agree to be a part of the show, and what are some of your thoughts? I guess.
Well, I was flattered and very interested in all the subject matters as wrestling and music, and I'm happy to be here. I'm still waiting for the $100 a week you promised, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute.
I don't remember that.
And,
He offered.
anyway.
He only offered you 100.
But yeah, thank you, and I do enjoy it, and I look forward to each Monday.
All right. Well, hey, and you too. I mean, I feel like in a way that you also have come out of your shell, so to speak. Even though you've never really had a shell, but I mean, you were nervous at first when you first got here. I could tell because you're like thinking in your head, why the hell would this kid want me on the show? But there's a reason why I want you on your show.
It's a different venue for me.
Yeah, but I mean, and you left for a little bit, and then you decided, you know what, this is where I want to be, and we love having you. You've always been you've always been good with humor and music, and I love the stuff you do online. I just the fact that you're not a stand-up comedian, I for a living, I don't understand why, because you're very funny.
I got kicked out of a lot of classes for all those jokes, but
and a hell of a musician
anyway,
too.
thank you.
All right, well, Lance Warlock, I want to hear from you there, my friend. I want to hear with our history and just knowing you that we've never met in person, but. I want to know why you wanted to be a part of the show and why, why you said yes.
You asked me.
Well, okay, yes, but why did you say yes? You could have told me to fuck off. It would have been all right.
Frank, he's used to hearing no.
Yeah, lots of times, yes. Every woman, I tell you.
I mean, it's like, I mean, it really was. It was, you asked me, and I've had interest. I've talked about doing things with my dad because he
Yep.
was wanting to do things. And then when things don't transpire and whatnot. And so, you and I go back many, many years. And it's like, God, you're still doing it. You've grown in what you have obviously set out to do.
Try
And those
to.
are those things that I just love it when that all comes around. And I love it's like the same thing with everybody coming from different perspectives, even regionally. My God, last week you guys were teaching me all sorts of stuff about Minnesota.
Well, that was
And
John there.
literally, it's like you guys.
Hey,
are
I got
boots
more,
on the
buddy.
ground.
And rocks and cows.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
more.
hey, and if there'll be something when I'll have a little nugget of something to share and being the new guy, I'm glad that you guys were letting me in and as it develops even more and more, I think it's a blast. I love to talk, but I also really like to listen. And I mean, it's really cool. And I appreciate you even asking. So thank you.
Nice.
And I'm way to go on everything that you've done for this.
Well, thank you. And one thing about you, Lance, that I've always loved, and just going back to even our history, is just that you've always been there for me. Regardless of if you had the time or whatever, you always found a way to make something work. If I had a crazy idea, or if you had a crazy idea, and so I feel like the next crazy idea that we have is we got to do that Funko video. I really feel that we should do it. I think the other guys don't have to be a part of it if they don't want to. It can just be a Renegade Radio exclusive video, but I think we should do it.
I think we
in
should
the
do a
next few
cartoon.
weeks or whatever.
That'd be
I'm
fun.
talking like we're gonna show our Funko Pops. He has Funko Pops.
Or
I have
what?
Funko Pops.
Oh, Cocoa Pop. Okay.
No, not Cocoa Pops.
No, the
Funko
bobbleheads.
Pops.
Bobbleheads. They're like bobbleheads.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're collectors of that.
I was gonna say, as far as ideas, I think, I think everybody on our show has such a distinctive voice.
Yeah.
We should do animation. We should have our own Renegade Radio cartoon.
The show's already animated, as there is.
Like Trailer Park Boys.
Oh yeah. We all look like we're part of the trailer park
John's over here
anyway.
rolling his eyes.
Well, I mean, you really want DePaul to be painting us now and doing all the animation now?
Oh, yeah.
He does
love
enough
it.
as it is.
It
already.
would be kind of funny, but yeah.
All right, so I saved the last the last or what?
We know what you mean.
Yes, I saved the best for last. Okay, and I want to
I'll
hear
have to
from.
listen to all this bullshit.
Yeah, well, I want to hear now from the man, my best buddy, the guy who originally said yes to doing this show, and I know you probably aren't a fan of Q&As, but you know what? I want to ask you why. Why did you say yes?
The thing is, Sean, if you remember when you asked me, I had another opportunity to go on to another show, which I'm glad I didn't do, to be honest with you. I have been asked recently to be on a couple shows that I just love these guys. I love you guys on this show. I mean, I feel like we're all good friends. I really do. I mean, I feel like John said, if we went to visit you guys out in Minnesota, I think we would all connect because we know each other from this thing. And you can have friends that aren't with you.
Oh,
Right.
absolutely.
You can have friends like
Sure.
we are.
Story
Sure.
of my life.
And workers, and you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
And like John said, you got, or one of the guys said, you have the walk of all areas and all the life. We all do something different.
You're okay.
I had my own show, and the only way I would leave a show is and I probably wouldn't even leave then if I did my own show like Mama T did. And
Yeah.
but I still wouldn't leave. I'd still do the show and do my show.
Well, we
But,
plan on going on for. I plan to do this for as long as possible. So there is no contract. I mean, it's
And
not
when
like we're.
Sean asked me to do it, I felt honored. I mean, he interviewed me a few times. I think the interview went great, other than me, Bill Kissin, taking over the show a few times.
But I mean, like in the beginning, though, like when you were taking a chance on somebody, I mean, because you didn't really still know me that well,
No.
So I mean, did you have any nerves of taking a chance on somebody you didn't really know?
Well, I mean, no. I mean, just talking to you a few times and being interviewed by you, I knew that we'd be good together, and I just felt like I appreciated what you did for me. I mean, when you asked me to do the show, I I love Mama T. I love John. I love my brother. I love Lance. I love Eric. I mean, everyone's funny. I think
Sure.
everybody's funny. I think we have a great fucking show, probably one of the best shows out there.
Oh, you damn right we do.
Yeah, and I really believe that it's gonna go far. It's gonna go far. I think it's gonna go a lot further, especially with now you're also putting on Saturday nights. People ought to know.
Yep.
And Saturday nights is a big hit night, so they'll see us again Saturday night, and it's a big hitter. I mean, it'll say live, but there's a recording, but
Yeah.
but it's great. I mean, I love it. I mean, no editing. In the beginning, we had to watch what we said a little bit, but Sean opened up, man, and he says, you know what? It's a variety show. We talk about everything. And that's what I like to do. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I was a little messed up. You could ask him. I mean,
Well-
you can ask Sean. In the beginning, I was a little uncomfortable because of how my show was.
Sure. And
But now
in
I'm
the
so
be-
used to it that
But in the beginning, remember that we were going to try to remake your show kind of like originally. That was kind of the idea. It was Renegade Radio, but you were going to bring like some of your people in. We had Waterboy, but then everybody else, or the other guy, Wildman
I
Vincent,
think it would
wanted to
have
be
went
part
a
of it.
different way, which I'm glad we did.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
Because I feel like the Screaming Sam show was the Screaming Sam show, but now it's the Renegade Radio show. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm proud to tell people to watch our show. I share it like 100 times while we're doing the show. You know what I mean? And I really like you guys. I really have fun, and I look forward to Monday nights. To be honest with you, I don't think like my wife and I talked today, and I said, when are we taking our break after next week?
Yeah, next week will be our last show in August, and then we'll take 2 weeks
I said to
off.
her, he's because he wants to give us a break. I'd rather not take a break. I'd rather just keep going. I really would.
Yeah, no, I
I do it
understand.
every week. I mean, I did it my show. I did it twice a week. Monday night was the radio show. Wednesday or whatever.
Yeah.
Wednesday night was either one or another. And like the other night we did our TV show, and I enjoyed it. I don't know. You put me in front of a camera, I'm done. I love it. I mean,
Well, that's just the thing about it. It's like the reason why we're doing the break is because I don't want too much overkill. Because it's like
I don't think it's overkill.
no,
I love
but
just talking to you guys.
I just figure it's just everybody deserves a break. I know not everybody's been on here every week, and it's just like it's nice to recharge, and it's the middle of September will come back. I mean, we can always do an exclusive thing. I mean, that's why I always tell people or tell you guys, even privately, that if you want to do something exclusive that's different from the show itself while we're on a break, like the Funko Pop show or whatever that Lance and I are going to do, that's going to be a real thing. That's really going to happen. And, it's just, if you have any crazy ideas that you want to try while we are able to do it, let's do it.
I'll tell you what, I'm proud of everybody I work with here. I mean, I think everyone here is like professional. I mean, I really do. I think we're a bunch of professionals in what we do, and
Except for me.
except for Tony.
That's the guy who's not even in his chair anymore.
Like John Roberts, I think that sucker got a voice, and he has to do my next wedding, like on my anniversary. Oh yeah, today's my anniversary, guys.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
that's
happy
right. Hey,
anniversary.
hey,
Happy
hey, hey,
anniversary.
hold on.
There I am, right there.
I'm back.
We're playing a round of applause for you, by the way, if you can't hear that there. So there you
Yeah.
go.
And I
I've been
think
married-
our
I've
guests
been
are going to
with
be
my wife
coming
30
now.
some years.
Okay,
We've
well,
been
that's...
married since 2001.
Wow.
Jeez.
Tonight's my
So
anniversary.
mine will be 40
I
years.
like getting Eric. I like getting Antique Man.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm glad
John,
you
I'll
did.
be 40 years,
Wow.
and I've been with my wife since I was 15.
Nobody
Dang.
asked you for that.
Jeez.
We
We'll call the police. So don't worry.
this coming Saturday.
I love you too, brother.
this coming Saturday will be 30 years since the day I met my wife.
Wow.
I met her in a little town called Grigla, Minnesota. I was up playing in a softball tournament, and it was funny because we went back on our 20-year anniversary of meeting each other, and we took I had the company vehicle. We went up there. We stopped at the same bar. We sat at the same table. We had the same drinks. And then when we were driving out of town, there's a big softball tournament. It's the fall festival in this little town, and we used to play there every year. Here was our kid. He was 27 at the time, and he happened to be playing ball up there. We didn't even know it. So that was pretty cool. But now we're thinking about going up there again this Saturday because it'll be 30 years, and we'll see. I don't know.
Wow. Sure, go.
30 years and many more beers later.
Right for a little town called a Bangi Muskagon or something.
Well, yeah.
I think our guest is on, I think.
Yeah, hold on 1 second here. Paul, the producer, wants to say something.
Yeah, you guys never asked me why I'm here.
Why are you here, Paul?
Why are you here?
All right, I'll give you a real simple answer. Remember the Klondike rush of the 1800s?
Uh-huh. Maybe.
That's what podcasting is right now.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be the most popular podcast, get multi-viewers, you know. So we got this studio. We got all kinds of different shows. We've had a bunch of them that have come through, you know, hit and miss. Maybe this one could hit, just like Striking Gold. Maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, that's why we're doing this. I mean, everybody is doing podcasting and doing these shows thinking that they are in the Klondike rush of the 1800s.
I like Klondike.
Thinking that, you know, maybe we can make millions. You know, if we...
I think we got a good platform, and the fact that you guys are willing to re-air it on Saturday.
And I think that you have a good show, and that's why, you know, we're humoring this idea. I mean, we've had a bunch of different ones that have come in and out of the studio, but I really, really like this show, and I think that it might strike gold.
Hey, how about that? Let's
Thank you, Paul.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear.
You know, it's not very often we hear from Paul, the producer, on this particular show. So that's pretty cool.
No, I appreciate that.
Just the
That's
fact
really
that
nice
he's
of you
there
to say
because
that.
I couldn't do it. I could not do this.
I can't wait to make my first speech.
Hey, anybody see our guest is on?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
We got him. Don't worry. What's going on, Neil?
I can't wait till I make my first speech. I'd like to thank God first, and then maybe Sean.
Okay, Donald. What's going on there, Neil? How's it going, my friend? How you doing?
Hey, fantastic, Sean. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. We're honored to have you on here for our 1 year anniversary special. We definitely we talked about you a little bit and kind of gave people an idea of what you do and you know, the Minnesota group that we love so much. And man, I tell you, you're just I'm surprised you have the time for us. You know, to be honest, I figure you're busy.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I just got done doing a video today on pepper fog, the litter, white lightning, Joker's Wild, and it's really cool. Anyway, but I do always have the time for you, Sean. You are the man.
Oh, thank you. It's been a little while since we spoke, though. I mean, I don't, you know, the last time I did an interview with you, I think it was when I was in South Dakota, and I believe we did a radio interview, and you know, that was a different period of time, you know, at least for me and probably for you as well. But because of Zoom and because of being able to actually see the people that you want to interview, I love this format so much better. I don't know, would you agree, or are you still a big fan of the audio format for an interview?
I love the video format, Sean. I invited, you know, I know you did a big special on little Bobby.
Yep.
Who sadly passed away, and I mean, what a legacy.
Yeah.
I had you send a link to Bobby Drangler.
Yep.
Down in Mankato. He's the king of Mankato, one of the great historians of Minnesota music, absolutely. And believe it or not, he was on his way up to interview Bobby the day before he died.
Sure. I heard that story, and Tanya was telling me about that too. She's actually back now.
Sorry,
Hi, Tanya.
I don't get to Grand Forks much, and my kid is here in the studio today, and I had to I'm trying to visit with her every chance I get. And, you know, if you ask Dan O'Keefe or Ian Thorpe, why is Mama T off camera? Well, there's no smoking in the studio.
That's right. Say no to dope.
Our guest said hi to you, Tanya.
Is that Neil?
Yeah, that was Neil.
Hi, Neil.
Hi, Tanya.
Oh, I miss you. Oh, my goodness. How are you doing?
Fantastic.
Fan-freaking-tastic. Yes, absolutely.
He's allowed to smoke in his place.
Well, I can smoke when I'm doing my show if I want to. 'cause
Hey,
I'm
it's
doing
not
it on
our
my limit.
rules here. It's the mall. All right, it's the mall.
Yeah, I don't care.
And by the way, Ian Thorpe says round of applause for Paul, the producer. So I got to throw that in
Oh,
there.
absolutely, absolutely.
Well
That was
deserved.
nice words.
Well deserved.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Okay, I'm here for the ride now, man. I'm having fun.
Oh yeah,
I like this.
See, I told you. You just gotta get warmed up a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Like a piece of bread, you know, kind of. Or something. That's-
Something like that.
yeah. Don't want to turn to toast.
Warm
eventually.
toast.
You
There
look
you
kind
go.
of like a loaf of something over there.
No.
You're like warm toast.
Eat more corn dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, bring me corn dogs next time. We'll make it a good show.
Dripping with ketchup. You know?
How come we always go back to corn dogs?
I don't know.
I don't know why you
It's an
say
inside
that.
joke. You had to be
okay.
there.
That's what she said.
That's gonna be the new theme.
Not
It's
to
gonna
you.
be- The show,
You always say that. Quit it.
The show will be brought to you by nothing but corn dogs. You know,
Corn
for
dogs and
everybody.
bananas.
Maybe for you.
Yeah. Anyway, so Neil, what have you been up to these days? Since it's been a while since we've chatted, so like, give us the rundown of you know what you're currently up to and how's life for you down in southern Minnesota.
Yeah, on top of the History Channel, which I've been running for the last 9 years, I've been putting together a series of Minnesota legends. I've been doing a lot of videos. We put out the Legends, Heroes, Ghosts, and Gangsters movie last year, and it covered the whole history of Minnesota, but unfortunately, we didn't get into what I'm interested in, which is the musicians that really broke out of our state. So I've broken it down. I'm putting together 3 video series on YouTube right now. The first one is called Legends, and that covers everybody from the guy that wrote Dixie, you know, the song I Wish I Was in Dixie, that was written in St. Paul.
Wow. Jeez.
That is something.
That was before statehood. It goes all the way through the Judy Garland era. Right now, I've got 4 of them up there, and we cover the 30s, the 40s, the 50s. I'm working on the 60s right now, and like I said today, I'm just putting together a video on Pepper Fog, The Litter, White Lightning, Joker's Wild, the Still Rovin'. You remember the Still Rovin'?
Wow. No, I've heard of them.
I don't remember this.
Yeah, heard of them.
Must
Never
have been
remembered them.
garage band, maybe. Garage rock, maybe. Or?
They were a garage band. They went out to Hollywood. They had a song back in the 60s called Hey Joe.
Peterson.
Not me. Don't get me. It wasn't me.
Oh.
Mine's on silent.
Anyway, it broke out nationally. They got hired by a label to go out to California, and they ended up playing with Three Dog Night.
Oh, wow.
When they were just breaking out, and they're going, well, they're competition. They're, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the Still Rovin' never made it big, but they were just a fantastic group.
You know, I've been in the music business for 45 years, a long time, maybe longer than that. But people ask me all the time, who's your favorite band? Who's your favorite musician? Who's your favorite guitar player? Blah, blah, blah. I can't. There's no way I could ever name one. And I would imagine with what you do, if somebody was to say, who's your favorite, you know, artist, musician, band, do you have one? I'm guessing you don't, but I could maybe give you the top 10. And if there is such a thing, who would yours be in Minnesota music history? I know that's a little deep, but
my absolute favorite guitar player is Dale Strength. He's the son of a son recording artist by the name of Texas Bill Strength. And this guy can play anything. Anything. But it's really hard. There's so many great guitar players out there. But obviously, I've worked with Dale, and I know his capabilities. And if I was going to pick one, it would be him. Little Bobby was absolutely the king of the blues. The king of the blues. And, you know, his parents, of course, dealing with history, I go back to the Hooley brothers, where, I mean, these guys before anybody,
Bob and Cal,
guitars behind their heads, they were such showmen. And, you know, gosh, yeah, you're right. It's really hard to pick one. But if I was going to pick one, I would have to pick Dale, because I guarantee you any lick that you want to play, from blues to jazz to total complicated, you know, he was with his oneness. And, you know, if you try and score one of their jazz albums out, it's impossible. But he's just got a feel. So to answer your question, he's my favorite. But there are so many. Gosh,
absolutely.
You know, I'd be leaving out a ton of people.
yeah, it's hard to do. You just can't do it.
Well, one question I had for you there, Neil, because you're such a historian, and maybe this picks your brain a little bit, maybe it picks all our brains out, or not out, but in, but you know what I mean. We just celebrated the 55th anniversary of the famous Woodstock Festival. Now, did Minnesota have much influence in that festival, or were there any Minnesota-related bands that you know of that got to perform during that time period? Because I don't know, you know. I mean, I should know, but I don't know.
The only thing that I guess would be Minnesota related, other than the fact I know a lot of people from Minnesota that went there, including Arlo Hennings and you name it. But Santana played a club called the New City Opera House right before they went to that festival, before they became superstars. And immediately following it, as soon as the film came out, Joe Cocker opened up the Depot.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. Which is now First Ave.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. No, I just I bring that up because, you know, I always kind of wonder, because there's a guy who I'm friends with, and you might know out of Sauk Rapids. His name is Al Neff, and he has the GOAT, WXYZ or G, the GOAT in Sauk Rapids. Are you familiar?
Okay.
Are you familiar with his stuff? Or Al?
Yes.
Okay. Well, he just did a show based on the 55th anniversary of the Woodstock, and with a guy named Artie Cornfield. And I just wasn't sure if he was from Minnesota as well or whatever, if that's why he had him on the show, or I really don't know. But Artie Cornfield?
I don't know.
He was one of the founders of Woodstock, or people behind Woodstock. And so Al's shows in Sauk Rapids on WXYG, the GOAT, in Sauk Rapids, Minnesota. And so I was just wondering if there's this connection. So maybe there's not. I don't know, but I just had to ask. Now you brought your friend Bobby. Did he get it on here? Or is he make it on here? Because I thought we said.
Yeah, I see his face up there. Bobby,
Okay.
Bobby. Speaking of Minnesota music, Bobby was the first person to ever record young John Denver.
Oh,
And
Wow.
that was in St. Peter, Minnesota.
okay.
You know, John married his wife, and she was going to school there. And as a matter of fact, part of the series, we've got a song called Denver, Johnson, and Franzine, which is going to be part of the series, which goes through that early development. But yeah, put Bobby on. He's a wealth of knowledge.
What's going on, Bobby? Are you with us there? Because we don't see you here.
Bobby Drangler.
There he is. There he is.
Yeah, Bobby Drangler. Yeah.
Oh,
There he is.
Never met him before. I've heard a
He
ton.
almost looks just like you, John. He was like a twin.
Hey, come on. He's
How's
got more facial hair
how's
than
my
I do.
audio connection? Do I have a good
Perfect.
audio
Yeah,
connection?
you're good.
Perfect.
We can hear you. I want your
Okay, good.
I want your Hawaiian shirt though. Can we get some
Well,
Hawaiian
yeah,
shirts over
that's,
here?
thank you. There's nothing like gifts. Yeah, Neil has really hit it with this music history program he put together. I know that we kind of put a show together at the Blue Earth County Historical Society last year, and it was all about Blue Earth County musicians, and that was the whole idea, was to get our Minnesota counties. We got 87 counties in Minnesota. I don't know how many you got up in North Dakota and South Dakota, but you know, to get these people more kind of interested in our music history, because our music history was so important, along with all of the other creative things that happened in our lifetimes. The music part of it is probably the most important, you know, of all of it. So that was the whole idea, and it was so successful. Neil came down and did an excellent presentation. And that's what's really started the whole thing, and putting the music history programs together. As far as going back, as far as audio engineering, that's my early days. Now going back into your radio days, the radio that I grew up with was a guy. It was called WDGY out of Minneapolis, and the main guy there was the name of Bill Deal. And Bill Deal back in the 60s dominated WDGY, sort of rock and roll back then. And they put on a lot of shows all over the state, so to speak. And so here we are. I was playing early rock and roll back in the 50s with a guy named Jimmy McGuire. Jimmy McGuire went on to become our classical or our guitar instructor for the university systems here in Minnesota. Jimmy grew up in rock and roll, ended up in jazz. I did a jazz album with him at Universal Audio, which turned into Cookhouse. Dale Menton did Run, 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 1965, so to speak. And we just kind of got into this whole engineering thing, audio. How do you make a really, you know, a sound come out of nothing? And boy, I tell you, what a journey that has been over the years, because I find myself still doing it. I find myself still being a critic on the audio, and I still find myself kind of enjoying it when I hear something that really, really, you know, is a mind blower as far as the audio engineering goes. Boy, I jump right on that big time. So yeah, and over the years, as far as the John Denver, Michael Johnson stuff, I owe that all to my old partner Mark Ahlstrom, because Mark Alstrom put together when John decided to get out of the Chad Mitchell trio. And Michael Johnson did the same thing. They both decided that this whole Chad Mitchell trio thing was not in the same perspective as these guys grew up in. Chad Mitchell was 10 years kind of older than these guys. So John and Michael both dropped out of the Chad Mitchell trio at the same time. And my buddy, Mark Alstrom, was a photographer and booking agent at the time from St. Peter, Minnesota. And guess what happened then? Boy, I tell you, John was writing old songs. He had, I would say, at the time, 15, 20 songs. And by the way, in his career, he ended up writing 300 before he passed. And my buddy Mark Alstrom, the photographer, did all of John's early visual stuff. And Michael Johnson's also. And that's where my influence came in. As far as recording, all I had was a little 4-track machine that I picked up. It was called a Crown. I picked it up in Minneapolis, but it was a good Crown recorder at the time, one of the best ones, because it would go 30 IPS if you needed it to, and if 15 IPS was more than satisfactory. But yeah, and so the engineering came in as how do I get drums, guitar, bass, all of this stuff, plus vocals onto 4 tracks and make it sound good. Well, it turned out that I had a lot of fun doing it, and it worked out pretty good for me. So and I'm still enjoying listening. I'm listening to some of those old early tapes I did, like of the Judd Band and Carl Franzine and all of those early things that I did back in the days. And boy, I tell you, we did a lot back then with little. So,
yeah, I tell you what, Bobby,
yeah.
I gotta say, I love your stories, and I love having you on my show personally, just because sometimes I run out of questions, and you've got the greatest stories, and I know I can depend on you just to inform me and give me knowledge and tell me about everything I never knew about before, never heard of before, and you are just one of the greatest guests. Right, you guys?
Oh yeah.
How do you really feel?
She wants
Hey,
your.
man,
What she's saying. What she's saying is
take
she wants your
another
Hawaii. She wants your Hawaiian shirt.
Well,
I
the
do.
thing is he's speaking our
Take your
language.
shirt off.
These guys are speaking our language.
Yes.
Of course, these are the legends of our time.
Absolutely.
Legends,
Our past.
icons. Here, see, I messed the title up like 3 times now. I've been trying to do this title. I messed it up like 3 times. I thought I had it right, but then I forgot. Oh yeah, there's gangsters in that title too. Wait.
Well, what I want to know, because Bobby, I guess the story was that you were supposed to interview Bob. We didn't know he was going to pass away the next day, obviously. But what would that interview been like if you would have had a chance to talk to him?
Well, the number one, my number one opening present or ask, my favorite opening introductory question is, because I've kind of hang out with people in the creative business, but creatively, everybody has their absolute favorite of what they did in their lifetime. Something that you created that sticks with you, that you enjoy, that you keep with you, and so that's my opening line. What's the most favorite song you've ever written? Period. What is it? Which one? Out of the hundreds or the thousands, which one? And I've interviewed classical writers, jazz writers, rock writers, and believe me, every single one of them so far, on maybe out of 30 of them, um, they all have a favorite, and so that's my opening icebreaker. What's your favorite song you've ever written?
That's cool. I mean, and what about Bob? Like, what was it about his persona that made you want to talk to him in the first place? Like, I'm sure you've known about him for a long time, but like, was it his personality? Was it just his music? Was it just kind of a combination of things? You know.
No, the number one reason is that I've got all the bases covered in jazz, rock, classical. I got a lot of information, but not in blues.
Okay.
Blues is we're short. I did not have one blues musician. So I went to a number of people in Minneapolis, excuse me, and it turned out that Neil called me up and he said, hey, there's a blues musician called Bobby. And I said, perfect. And I go up to Bemidji a lot. There's a fellow up there.
I heard it too.
Yeah,
you don't say Sandridge, do you? Do you say Sandridge and Permita too?
You say Raymond Burr or Raymond Burr?
I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding.
Sorry about that.
But and all of a sudden, Neil said they got a club up there, and I looked it up, and sure enough, I was just blown away. I said, yeah, out in the middle of nowhere, man, good show, and so I opened up a conversation, I believe, with Neil. And then it opened up a conversation with Tanya, and then I was in Bemidji interviewing another person, and all of a sudden, the next day, I was on my way. I would say, I think it was about 1:30. No, it wasn't. It was about 12:30.
I think we just missed you.
Yes, yeah, it was about 12:30.
That was on Saturday, wasn't it? That
Right.
Saturday the 27th?
Yeah, and I was I was about 30 miles away. I called up the club, told them that I was coming, who was there, one day, and just right after I had called, I received another call. And they told me, Tanya, that you were going to be in at 2. And I said, well, that'll kind of work out, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, that was Friday.
I'll get a lineup. And I had all of my equipment available, but I wasn't, I just wanted to visit. Because I was in the club business for a number of years. Believe me, I know what it's like. So that.
And if we want to get him in posthumously, we absolutely can. The kids have already given me permission. We'll talk to them. We can still. Any question you have that I know the answer to or they know the answer to, let's get him in there. Let's. We don't want to let his legend die. Legends never die. I meant the legacy, not the legend, because legends never die, and he was definitely a legend.
Right. Yes. No, but the best of all, though, he's a very creative one. I mean, you got to look at the music, the songs. Here we go. Very few people can do that.
You listen to one of his first albums compared to one of his last albums, and you can just see the progress he made. His only goal, he never wanted to be better than anybody else. His only goal was to make this next album better than his last album. Mm-hmm. That was his only goal.
Well,
It was never
he
about
did
the
it.
money. It was never about competition with other musicians. He just wanted to be a better person himself. He just wanted to improve his craft.
Well, after I had made the call into the club, about 5 minutes later, all of a sudden I received a phone call that a very close friend of mine needed assistance. And he was about 60, 70 miles away. So I turned around. I turned around right there at the highway. I was on Highway 2. Otherwise, yeah, I was. But, all in all, Tanya, I think we should still do the interview.
Absolutely.
And get everybody involved.
Me and the kids are all in for it.
Yeah.
And we're going to try and do whatever
I,
we can to try and get him into the Minnesota Blues Hall of Fame as well.
Right. What I'll do is that I'll come up and the next time I'm up in your area, I'll get a hold of you and we'll put that together.
Absolutely.
And you're right about the Minnesota Music Hall of Fame. I was that whole young John Denver thing that happened in St. Peter. That's why we put John in the Minnesota Music Hall of Fame, and Michael, they're both in it. So.
Oh, that's great. Well, Bobby, we appreciate having you on, and Neil as well, because we have a couple other guests that are going to be coming here at the top of the hour. But for anybody that wants to know more about you, Bobby, how can they do so?
Well, I tell you, it's Facebook is always a good one. Lately, I haven't been, how would you say, out in the on stage that much at all, because I've kind of lost the glitter of it all. But it's all Facebook is probably the way you just messaged me and things like that. That's probably the easiest way.
Okay.
YouTube, although I got a couple hundred videos out there, I'm not. How would you say? I haven't gone public with it yet. So, but I'm still working on it, and
Sure.
I will. And please do. Anybody who wants to, and be open with your questions. If you have questions, I'm really I'd love to answer. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I would just wanted, I got to run for a second again, because, the old lady bladder and all that. And you can see that I've been drinking out of these Grand Forks Best Source can koozies all night. But I just wanted to Bobby, I wanted to let you and Neil know. It wasn't cheap. That cost me a whole can koozie.
Oh, Jesus.
Just wanted to tell you guys, I miss you guys, and me and the family, we're down for anything. Whatever gets Bobby's name out there, whatever continues the legacy, whatever keeps the live music going, whatever keeps the blues alive, man. We got you. Just contact any of us anytime. We're gonna
Great.
We're gonna move this along.
Let's do it.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you, and Neil as well. Let us know more about you too, real quick before you go, because you were part of the interview as well. You still there?
Thank you both for being here.
Yeah,
Enjoyed
thanks
it.
for having us on, guys. It was a lot of fun.
All right.
I
Well,
enjoyed it a lot.
we appreciate you. Now we got, I believe, who we got at the bottom there? Is that Parker and?
It looks like it.
Taylor Warren.
Hey, there you go. All right. Taylor,
Hey,
yes,
Jeff.
Taylor Warren. Yes, I know who you are. You work over at Super One. What's going on, man?
Thanks for having us on, John.
Hey, no problem. Well, these guys are the guys known as Forgive the Forsaken and Forgive Me for Asking, but the hell's that mean?
I was just going to ask the same thing, man. Because it's
Tell us-
clever. It's clever.
Tell us
I
about
wish
your
I
band.
had.
Tell us about your band.
The guy who actually came up with the name is no longer in the band.
Oh.
It's one of those things we made up a ton of merch.
Well, did you forgive
It's
him
just
for
stuck.
doing that, or what? I'm just kidding.
I mean, sure. No, no, we love him. We love him. He's my neighbor, actually. He's a good guy. Great, fantastic guitar player.
Okay. So, tell us about how you guys got together and created this idea of a metal band or rock band or whatever. I think you probably call it like metal or rock metal, kind of, more or less.
Well, I
Or
try
grunge.
to do a little bit of everything.
Okay.
We go through as many genres of rock as we can cover. Whatever will get us into bars.
So do you are you a band that can play at like the Roseau County Fair, or are you limited to bars?
We played the Roseau Gazebo last year.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
We asked them, we're like, hey, we're totally down, but like, if you've heard our music, like, you know what you're signing up for. Right?
Sure.
So actually went really good.
Well, that's
No,
good
but,
because the people of Roseau need a change of pace. We'll just say, there's a lot of that old money going around in that town, and I just like you need to be the fresh young coat of paint there. Wake these people up.
I think I pestered Taylor so much that he finally joined the band with me. That's what happened, really. We were part of a group back in the day called the Downtown Jam Project in Roseau. You guys ever hear about that?
Maybe. I didn't know they were doing stuff like that.
They started it. It was Chris and Paul Nugent started it back in 2011.
Okay.
And it went for about two or 3 years, and it had to close. But that's where I met Parker from. Was Downtown Jam Project, and he was just a little kid back in the day, and he kept pestering me to join a band, and I didn't want to right away. But after the years went along, I ended up with all my musicians friends moved out of town. So then I was like, oh, whatever, we'll try it out, see how it goes. And so far, it's working pretty good. I've been with them since 2016. Him since 2016.
Yeah, because I know I've heard you guys for quite a while, and I met Parker before. I think you've been to Walmart before we've met each other. And then Taylor, I know your family obviously, and I know you. You know,
definitely.
Sorry about the loss of your brother earlier this summer with Cody. Because that surprised me that he passed away. That was.
Well, it surprised me because it was actually our sister's, Katie. She had her baby gender reveal party, and then we had a show at Peggy's poorhouse that same evening, and it was kind of weird. It was the last thing Peggy said before we left was, "How's your brother doing?" I'm like, "Yep, he's doing awesome. He's got two kids down, a niece and nephew to spoil down in the cities, and all kinds of twins and." Some not really Vikings games, but sports games to go to. And I came home, and my mom and Gary were up, and they had told me that he had passed. But it was strange because he hasn't lived in town for 16 years, but everyone still asks, "How's your brother doing? How's your brother doing?"
Sure. Well, you guys are well known.
Brothers,
Yeah, you guys are well known in that area. Well, you guys are pretty well known in the Roseau area, and the thing about your brother Cody is I never found be off the subject here. I don't mean to draw attention to it, but since I don't talk to you much at all, so what happened? How did he pass?
He was just at home. It was a Saturday night. He was watching football, and he kind of dozed off, and I think he just passed away in his sleep.
Okay. Because wasn't he on a respirator,
second best way to go?
Yeah, I thought that too. I guess his equipment. He didn't have the blood pressure on.
Okay.
He had his respirator on, but not his blood pressure. So the blood pressure it didn't sense that he was I think he had a heart attack in his sleep.
Oh.
But he didn't have the blood pressure or the thing on his finger that he had for blood pressure. They didn't have that on.
Okay.
Because the nurse kind of thought he got quiet for a while, and they went and checked on him, and he was all slouched in bed, and he had passed in his sleep. Thankfully, he was in his sleep, but not.
Because for some reason, I thought he got in a car accident for some reason. I don't know. There was a car accident that happened in Roseau at the time, so I had to around the same time.
That was how he got. That was like back in '94 when how he got his injury.
Yes, but I mean, I thought he got in a car accident. How he passed away. I didn't know. This is the first time I'm hearing about it.
No, there was no.
I had no idea he was down in the cities.
There was a car accident that was irrelevant to our family, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. Well, anyway, how's the family holding up now? I mean, it's been a month or two, but it's still, we know about that.
We're holding up pretty good.
Okay.
Cody had his body donated to science,
Oh.
So a lot of the we had a service for him, and now the U of M just wrote us back that he his ashes just got back to us now, so we're gonna have a internment. Sorry, this hopefully this fall.
Okay.
And, yeah, because like he wanted to donate his body so anybody with spinal injuries could hopefully they could research and study and hopefully help people in the future.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's
So
that is like the best last gift you can give.
Well,
to
Tanya,
anybody.
you're from,
definitely.
You're from Roseau.
Yeah, so
don't you know Cody at all? Or
I
did you know?
don't. So I.
Come
Sorry,
on.
I keep moving around.
Yeah.
I keep moving
Quit
around.
wiggling.
Tanya,
I can't help it.
Talk directly to the mic like you're
Quit
doing
wiggling.
No, I'm not going to pretend it isn't. I'm not pretending this thing is anything. You just keep your mind on the gutter over there. Anyway, no, I grew up in Roseau. I graduated in '92, and I'm not just saying this for anybody who might have just been tuning in, but because I was in the bathroom here for a few minutes, and I missed what your last name is.
Warren, Warne.
Okay.
My older siblings are Brandon,
Yep.
Cody, and Kate Warren.
And you probably know
Yep.
Gary Grundle at the store.
Gary
So I
from Wally's Doug Super One.
Yeah.
the trailer court.
The plethora. Yeah.
So do you guys ever hear my
Used to live in the
Roseau
trailer
story?
court over there.
I told Mama T my Roseau story.
Oh no.
I woke up on top of the Roseau water tower one time.
Haven't we all?
Yeah, no, I really did, and I had no clue how I got up there. In fact, when I woke up, it was very surprising. It was very
And you know,
surprising.
if we didn't have such an age gap between the two of us, I would have been like, yeah. What year was that? What day was that? Because I had done that a couple of times.
The bathroom was a rough one, huh?
10 minutes, okay.
And well, we know that. Well, I know that Parker's dad used to sell computers and did the downtown computers way before Sean started taking over.
Well, I'm trying to think. I know. I knew some Warrens actually.
Well, so what type of gigs are you guys planning on doing or have done for the band?
We got a couple coming up. This Saturday we got a show at the Legion starting at 9 o'clock. Then in Warroad we're playing at the brewery 7 o'clock, October 26th. But a lot of the main stuff we do, we return to this music festival a lot. I don't know, you guys cover Minnesota music, so I'm curious. Have you guys ever heard of the Pure Bliss Ranch?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
It's a fun place.
we love it there.
Yeah.
We come there as often as we can. We absolutely love the Pure Bliss Ranch, and I've been going there since I was 16 years old. They've been inviting me back, and just
Oh, nice.
yeah, every single time I get the opportunity to play there, we don't ask for anything. We go there and play for free because we love them and we love the experience. Like it's just such a great venue to be at.
So you guys have a dream venue you'd love to play more than any other place?
Oh yeah, that's the Pure Bliss Ranch, 100%.
Okay.
Dreams come true already.
Yeah, okay.
It could be 100 people in front of us or 2 people. I'm gonna have a blast every single time.
Okay,
And
how about
first time-
if you could tour with another band, who would it be?
That's a good question. Tour with the band. What would you pick? My favorite band is Atreyu, but that's just kind of biased.
Oh, sure.
Isn't that the kid that rode the dragon or something?
Never ending story.
There's a band named after the same.
Yeah, we played them on KJ 108 back in my rock radio days.
Okay.
Atreyu, yeah.
I'd like to. I'd like to tour with System of a Down, but I know there's
Sure.
just so much. That obviously they don't write music anymore.
I just have such a problem with Surge.
Surge seems like kind of a douche. So.
Yeah, exactly, kind of.
He's like one of those people. He's really cool from a distance, but I feel like if I met him, I'd probably.
And you know, me doing what I did for all these years, I actually met the band, and there are times where you just keep your mouth shut because you know deep down what they're probably like. I think I'm a fairly good judge of character, but yeah, they're good though. They're good.
Well, guys, we don't want me to rush you so quickly and everything, but we do appreciate having you on. For anybody that wants to know more about you, how can they do that?
We're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube as Forgive the Forsaken. We just released another song on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music. It's called Take the Weight. We have 3 songs out on that type of stuff, but it's my personal favorite. We played it live. You get to hear me just bullshitting with some of the audience, which is my favorite thing to do during shows.
Heckling.
Yeah,
Heckling, yeah.
heckling.
Can you guys ever play in Grand Forks?
We played Ohio Records a couple times, so you know what? If anybody is listening to this in Grand Forks and wants us to come back, let us know.
Okay.
I was about to ask.
And here's the deal. If you ever know you're going to be playing here, let us know. Get a hold of us here, GFBS, Grand Forks Best Source. We'll put you on the air. We'll do a little gig before you guys go on.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
And if you ever make your way down the highway too, there's this little bar in McIntosh, Minnesota, called Little Bobby's Bar and Grill that has a great stage and does live music every weekend. Contact the bar or the bar owner or myself. You can connect with us on Facebook.
Just get a hold of me and I'll tell you where you got to
Yeah,
go.
exactly.
That's what I was going to say. Sean, send me a name.
Yep.
I will. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you. And to the panel as well and everybody that has participated. And even if you're not here on the show, I think the only one that wasn't here is Waterboy and Mikey. You know, those are the only 2 that have been on the show that haven't came back yet. But other than that, I just want to say thank you to everybody for being a part of this 1-year anniversary show.
We're not great to be here.
We're not done yet. Next week we got one more episode before we take our little break. We'll have Michael Klastorian on, and he's a Back to the Future expert. So
right on.
That'll be a lot of fun. So
And I was gonna say thank you, Frankie, for dragging me here by my hair. I mean,
that's right.
It must have been terrible to put up with me in that.
That's how I do it, rough. No,
Mama T, it's always a pleasure seeing you, sweet pea.
Just kidding.
Chicka chicka mow mow.
All
Chicka
right,
mow
guys.
mow.
And thank you everybody for watching at Best Stores and Facebook and YouTube and all the platforms
I
that
love
we're on.
you, Johnny.
We'll see you next week.
Care.